What's up everybody, Mike the CPA here and Chipper.
Yes, me lord.
In today's short video, we're going to show you 3 easy ways to make an estimated tax payment. That's right, this is Major Life Skill Central. This is very important for you guys to know. And by the way, I hate making freaking estimate payments. It basically means more money comes out of my pocket and I have less disposable income. Even Chipper doesn't like making estimated tax payments. Hey Chipper, are you ready to make your estimate payment? Sorry folks, he gets a little worked up. Let's start off by showing you guys how to make an estimate payment online. It starts off by us going to the irs.gov website up here, as you can see. Then right here, see where it says make a payment? You're gonna click that, make payment. It says pay your taxes now, and you're gonna go to direct pay. You can also pay with a debit or credit card versus a check, but there's fees associated if you try to pay with a debit card or credit card. So if you have a checkbook, I would highly recommend you pay with your check. So go to direct pay, click there, and you can read through this, as we can see here. But if you wanna skip straight to it, we're gonna go to make a payment, and now it brings us to this lovely screen. Now this is the first part that's really important. So it says, you'll notice here, the first selection in this drop-down, it says reason for payment. Well, we want to select estimated tax because we're making an estimated tax payment for the tax year we're currently in. It says apply payment to. It's going to give you, in this scenario, there's 1040 ES for 1040, 1040A, or 1040 EZ. So as long as you file one of those 3 forms each year, 1040, 1040 EZ, or 1040A, you're good. So make sure that's selected. Now, to make sure the year is selected for your current tax year. So we're in 2018 at the time of this video, so I'm selecting 2018, and we hit continue. It says you have chosen to make an estimated tax payment for your 1040 ES for these forms. Is this correct? And we hit yes. Now it wants our information. So I just kind of filled this out already for you guys. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop in the tax year for verification, and it's going to have you verify some numbers in a previous tax year to make sure it's you. So the most recent year in this example, because we're in 2018, was 2017. So we've already filed our 2017 taxes. Hopefully, I hope you have. And then we're going to select our filing status right here. You can select single or married filing joint or one of these other statuses. So we're married here. Chipper is the name of our cockatiel who's paying his estimated tax payment. So we have Chipper, last name is the cockatiel. We have his social security number entered right there. We have his date of birth as January of 85. He lives in the United States at 100 Cockatiel Way. I probably wouldn't recommend trying to look up that address because it's totally fake. But in a minute here, I'm going to enter my real information so we can get to the next screen. However, I can't share that lovely data with you fine folks on YouTube over the internet. Sorry. But we're going to go to the next screen here in just a second. So once that information is all entered, then we can go and proceed to the next screen. Now we're on the direct pay screen, and this is where we enter our payment information. So as you can see here, Chipper is ready to make a $100 estimated tax payment. He confirms the payment amount once again for $100. Payment date is going to be July 13th of 2018 because that's where we're at today, folks. We're going to put our routing number in here from our checking account. This is Chipper's checking account and his account number.
Not a real account number.
And then, of course, we're going to mark checking. You can mark checking or savings. And then it says, I would like to receive an email confirmation notifications and agree to the email terms of service. And I always recommend selecting yes for that because you can always unsubscribe later from it. But it's nice to have an emailed receipt of your payments, and I highly encourage that you do so, folks, because why do you want to spend money and not have proof of it later on? All right, so make sure that email box is checked. You're going to drop in your email address twice, of course, because they don't trust you the first time. So we're going to put chipper@gmail.com and chipper@gmail.com once again, fake email address, just because this is all for an example here, folks. And then we're going to click continue to go into the next screen. Just about done. Now when you click continue from that last direct pay screen, you're going to get this little notice that pops up, says disclosure authorization. And basically you must agree to their terms. You can just click I agree, because if you don't, you can't proceed forward. So you click agree, and then you're going to go down this list here and just verify this data. Make sure you have everything correct. Like, is this for an estimated tax payment? Yes. Is it a 1040 ES that is applied to a 1040, 1040A, 1040 EZ? Yes. Tax payments for the right year, 2018? Yes. Dollar amount is correct? Yep. Payment date is this. We've got our bank account information, checking account number. We've marked our email, terms of service, etc. And then this last part right here is the electronic signature. So this is where we're going to put in our name, first and last name. So we're going to put in Chipper, the cockatiel, and then Chipper is going to put in his social security number right there. We're going to click this little box that says, I accept the debit authorization agreement. So the last step, of course, is we would hit submit, and then we would end up getting a confirmation saying that the payment has been scheduled, and then your payments should come out either that day or the following day. I think it's the following day when the payment account, if you look at your bank statement or your online banking account, was where you'll see the payment being withdrawn by the IRS. And that's how you make a payment online, folks. Luckily, guys, I've actually done this myself. I've actually made a real payment. This, when you go to that final screen, now I wouldn't have been able to show you without money coming out of my checking account, but I've actually made a payment, an estimated tax payment for 2018 earlier this year. This is what the receipt looks like after you've made the payment online. I think this comes to you in the form of an email, but if it doesn't, make sure you do the print to PDF or save as PDF screen or print it out to a physical copy. Keep it for your tax records. It's very important that you hold on to this document either in paper or electronically. But that's what one of these receipts looks like, and just keep it for your tax year because you're going to need it when it comes time to file your taxes. Moving on now to how to pay your tax estimates via paper. So we're going to go to Google. We're going to search 1040 ES, and you can even do the year you're in. So we're in 2018. So I'm going to type 2018. And it should be the first thing that comes up, and it is right here. See where it says 2018 Form 1040 ES-IRS.gov. That's our baby. That's the one we want. And you can even see that it says www.irs.gov right there to even prove it further. So we're going to click this. It's going to open a PDF. And this is it's got some instructions in here for you. It has some general rules, which I'm not going to cover in this video. This is all about just how to make a payment. I'm not going to go in another video. I'm going to cover how tax estimated payments work in a general sense, so you guys have a better feeling for it, a better idea. But if you scroll down here, there is a payment voucher. Keep scrolling. Right here. Here we go. Starts right here. There's 4 payment vouchers, okay? Because as you guys can imagine, it's quarterly estimated tax payments. So if you guys make estimates, then that's why there's 4 vouchers, because they're usually quarterly estimates. You don't have to make them quarterly. You can pay 1 or 2 estimates if you want, if you've upped the amount. But that's really something for you to figure out when you're doing tax planning or working with an accountant yourself. So for the month of July through September is the 3rd quarter of 2018, right? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to come down here and fill out the amount of the estimate on paper. And you're going to once you're all done with this, you're going to print it out. Whoops, there's not 100 cents. You're going to put your name, your address, right? So Chipper the cockatiel, Chipper's social security number. If you have your spouse, if you're doing married filing joint, you're going to put your spouse's information right here. I'm not going to fill all this out. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? You're going to put their last name, social security number, and then your address, zip code, etc. And then see where it says tear off here. So once you've entered the dollar amount and all this basic information here, you're going to cut this part out. You're going to just take scissors, cut it out, and then you're going to place it in an envelope. Well, how do you know where the heck to mail this thing off? Well, you're going to write a check. If you go to the top, guys, if you go to the top of the document, first of all, if you want to find out where to mail it, see where it says where to file your estimated tax payment voucher if paying by check or money order? Well, this is where you do it. So I live in California, so I need to send my check to, where do I send my check to, guys? Do you see California on here? Aha, right here. So I would send my check to this one, P.O. Box 5100 or whatever that number is that goes to San Francisco. So this is where I would do because that's where I live. But you would just find the state you live in, and then that's the address you would mail the estimated tax payment to. And then you would, this kind of tells you how to write the check, all right here. This part right here. So if you just read this, it will tell you on the memo line of the check, you're going to write 1040-ES. You're going to write your social security number. Make sure you read these instructions, guys. It's pretty self-explanatory, but take time to read this so that you know you're mailing your check off to the right address. have the right stuff on the memo line, your social security number information, all that stuff is what it needs to be. So the IRS, when they receive your payment, they can match it up with the right social security number and all that good stuff. You want to be very careful about that. So just make sure you're paying attention to these instructions before you mail it off. That's how you make your estimate payment by paper. There's a third way that many people don't know or don't even have to think about, but now I'm going to show you how to make an estimated tax payment using your current year tax return.
What? You can do that? Actually, you can. Let me show you how.
Okay, so this is the third way to make an estimate payment. So it's not online, it's not via paper, but it's actually when you're preparing your return. So this is obviously a tax form 2017. The 2018 1040 forms have not been released yet for personal income taxes. IRS is doing a lot of work on those right now. We're going on page 2 of the 1040. We're going near the bottom. This is for people who have a refund or who are overpaid on their current year taxes, okay? Because if you owe money, you're not going to be able to make an estimate. But let's say this is Chipper's tax return, and let's say he's overpaid by $1,000. Okay, so he's going to have a $1,000 refund coming to him. So he can, like I said, Chipper can get that refund for 2017, or he can have that refund, instead of coming to him in the mail in the form of cash or check, he can have his refund applied to his 2018 estimated taxes, because Chipper is a tax filer who has to pay estimates because his income fluctuates quite often. He's owed large balances in the past, so that's why Chipper is required to pay estimates in a general sense. So instead of getting refunded, now Chipper can indicate on his tax return when he's preparing his taxes that he wants his refund to count to go towards 2018's taxes. The way Chipper would apply this $1,000 refund to next year's estimates, you see on line 76A, it says amount of line 75, which is this refund amount, you want refunded to you. He's going to put 0 here, or leave that blank. Either way is fine. Now on line 77, see how it says amount of line 75 you want applied to your 2018 estimated taxes? This is the line we're looking for. So we're going to put all $1,000 right there. So Chipper wants the entire amount of his overpayment or his refund applied to next year's taxes. So that's a third way to make an estimated tax payment. Though as you guys can see here, guys, there's multiple ways to do it. You can do it online. You can do it on paper. Those are the two most common ways. In some circumstances, when you're filing your taxes, you might have a refund. And in that instance, you can also, instead of receiving that money in the bank, you can apply it to next year's estimates, because typically when a person has to pay estimates, they are going to have to, even if they get the money back in the form of a refund, if it comes to their checking account, well, chances are they're going to have to send it back to the IRS anyways. So that's why you can apply it towards next year's taxes, especially for somebody who's going to have to write the check anyways. You might as well just do it here on your tax return. It's much simpler than writing a check and going through the hassle. Okay, guys, I hope you found those 3 ways to make estimate payments helpful. A lot of people in the United States have to make estimated tax payments. I just wanted to show you quickly how to do it. It's not that hard, but there's multiple ways to do it, as you guys can see from this video. Now, I know I didn't cover how estimated tax payments work. I'm working on a video on that. At the time of filming this video, I do not have that other video ready, but I will. So make sure before you leave this video, if you want to learn how estimated tax payments works, be checking for a link to another video on that subject. Look in the description section down below, and I'll also put it in the comment section of this video once it's ready. Okay, so it might not be there yet, but once it's ready, I'll make sure you guys can have it, and I'll link it up and also have it show up at the end of this video. Anyways, I hope you found this information helpful, guys. If you have any questions, I'm sure you might, because I went through this information kind of quickly because I wanted to be straight to the point. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to get back to you guys and try to answer any questions you may have to the best of my ability. Now that you know the 3 ways to make estimated tax payments, go brag about it. Brag about your knowledge at the dinner table. Tell them what you learned, because you didn't just come here to learn how to make payments. You came here to learn how to brag about your extensive tax knowledge, which you have gained even more from Mike the CPA on Money and Life TV. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, be sure to do so by hitting the red subscribe button down below the video. Every single week on this channel, we're all about helping people like yourself become more fiscally fit. because we teach finances, investing, and taxes on a regular basis. So be sure to subscribe so you do not miss any of our future uploads. If you like the video, make sure to drop a like before you leave. It really helps out the channel. And be sure to share this information with a friend, especially somebody you know who's having trouble with taxes or might need to make estimated tax payments. I'm sure they would find this information helpful to learn how to do it in any way that they feel most comfortable with. And what's the best way to make your estimated tax payment? It really just comes down to you. You choose the way that you feel the most comfortable with, and I recommend doing it that way. All right, guys, well, until next time, it's been a pleasure, as always, hanging out with you here on YouTube. I will see you all in the next video. Be looking for that video on how estimated tax payments work coming up in the future. Until next time, I love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on YouTube, and Chipper and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and live your life uncaged. Bye, guys. Peace.